Hello, friends and fellow gamers. I am That Zero, and we are back with episode 20 of Cap Raise, a Last Cloudia podcast. As usual, I am joined by my awesome compatriots. We have Jawline. How's it going, man?
Pause. What's up, everybody?
I was like, why is my window on the wrong thing? Nobody needs to look at Reddit right now.
I was like, well.
He's like, well, I guess straight up forgot your name.
Professional AF. That's what we do. And DK. Yeah, you too. You're technically here.
And DK.
Yeah. Doing it.
Oh, man. All right. Well, starting off another Scuff cast. Feels great. Feels grand. But at least we were able to
Scuff.
be here. So, all right. Yeah, they dropped a announcement for a rerun of the Slime Collab, as well as getting shift units for both of our collab units, which we have never seen before, which is pretty sweet. So we have something to talk about. And interestingly enough, I find it strange that apparently they're changing up the release schedule. I don't know if that's permanent or just for this, because they're trying to cram some schedule to work. But like normally things happen on like, what, Wednesday? Instead,
No, Thursday morning.
Thursday, yeah. So like,
Thursdays.
yeah.
Thursday
So
morning.
yes, there's like a transition between like Wednesday and Thursday of like unit reveal and things like that. But instead,
Yeah.
what? The collab's starting on like, is it Sunday or Monday?
Monday.
It's Monday.
It's
Monday morning.
Yeah, it's a little
So we'll
weird.
be up Sunday. Well, technically, the other way I look at it is we don't go to sleep, so it's still technically Sunday, whether or not my clock says differently.
Yeah,
It's because they had a holiday in Japan, so
I see.
it messed with their schedule. Is from what I heard.
Fair enough. Okay, cool.
I
So
like it, though.
it's probably a temporary thing though.
I think it's just this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's interesting. It kind of makes this process a little bit harder, but also interesting in a way. So we're going to do this a little bit differently than what we normally would. Normally, a unit comes out, we get a few days to kind of understand it, talk about it in Discord, like see how things are, and then give our thoughts on the podcast. This time, we've only had a reveal, which is not in our time frame usually. So we're going to go through. We're going to talk about the buffs to the old units, so Rimuru and Milim. And then we are going to together watch through the Demon Lord Rimuru, so his shift, and kind of just observe things as kind of like a group reaction type thing. Just give our thoughts and have some conversation. So hopefully we'll have some good conversation come out of that. Give our thoughts and speculation since we haven't gotten our hands on them, obviously. But yeah, should be fun. Anything you guys want to add?
Nope. Let's get into it, man.
No, not really.
Beautiful. Okay, so before getting into the buffs, Rimuru. On his launch, he was fine. Mages were at a pretty bad place because that was after they removed time stop in general. So mages were just pretty bad. There wasn't really a high bar. Therefore, he came in. He had this mechanic where under certain conditions, certain things would get better on him. One of them was like using magic. You can slowly gain magic cap. So he had some decently high magic cap compared to other units. Not really many unique spells, which kind of stunk, but back then there wasn't really much anyway. His big thing, though, in my opinion, was he was one of the most survivable units in the game. And he kind of held true to that for a while, but right after his release, Lagrabos came out, who was basically the second Rainbow Mage in the game, for the most part. And damage-wise was just miles better than Rimuru. Granted, he didn't have the survivability, so like there was a little bit of a difference there, but in general, most people just look for big PP DPS and say if you're not the biggest PP, you're trash. So Rimuru was pretty much just deemed for the most part of being like, well, he was cool for a week and then got instantly power crept and nobody wants you anymore because Lagrabos is cooler. I liked him much more than Lagrabos, except for like Apocalypse, because Apocalypse was actually a cool thing. But like other than APOC, I'm just not a huge fan of Lag. So just
Yeah.
I don't know. He hasn't aged very well. But so with that in mind, his survivability, he's gotten a massive amount of buffs. The big problem that I had with Rimuru was the way that they kind of sold him, especially if you look at like his paid gear and such, is it seemed like they were trying to push for him to be one of the first hybrid physical and magic units. Like, be able to sling some small spells and then have physical damage. But then he only got support for magic, and his physical stuff sucked. Like, there was decent hit counts and such, but, like, his scaling wasn't really that great, and his damage caps, he had nothing. And so he basically was just a tanky mage. That's pretty much it. Tanky rainbow mage. So I was hoping that maybe he might get a little bit towards his physical side, but we'll get into it and see that that's unfortunately not really the case. So, trait number 1. These basically just got better values on them. So this is what I meant where under certain conditions things happen. So if he is using magic and hitting a weakness, he can get up to a 6k cap now. That's good. I think that was only like 2,000 before. 2,000, 3,000. It was pretty low. So that's decent. Whenever he's taking damage, reduce the damage that you're taking. Okay, so over time, he gets tankier. Same with resistances. More attribute damage you take, the more your resistances go up. And then also, if you get hit with a status ailment, he becomes more resistant to them. So that's all cool stuff. I think that's neat. He adapts in combat. I think that's flavorful. Cool trait. They made it better just by bumping up some values. Fine. Great Sage. Special and magic damage plus 100%. I don't remember what this was before, but I don't remember it being super significant. So I think that's really solid. And
it's actually a typo.
Yeah. So
oh, you're gonna point it out?
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. So special
skill
is
damage.
Yeah. This is actually supposed to be skill damage. So he did get a pretty large scaling increase to his skill damage. So that's cool. So he should at least be able to hit his default cap of 10k. Or, higher with enablers. Like, he'll pretty much need enablers. But, yeah. Magic attack cap, he just gets a flat 6k cap now. That's actually really good. So now on the higher side, he can get up to, 22k. That's actually getting closer to, like, our tier 3, tier 2 mages, So it's at least something, which is pretty good. And casting speed was bumped up to 20%. I believe it was only 15 before. That's great, because that means that you can really easily hit that like 70%, which is really nice. So, yeah. All attribute attack magic has a chance to do critical. Okay. I don't know if anybody cares about that, unless you're trying to make arena work, possibly. But
Nah.
And then full auto battles, plus 20% to a bunch of stats. That's a pretty sizable bump, actually. I think that was only like 10% before. So, that's kind of cool. Make it easier to survive and do stuff like that. So, yeah, it's fine. I really, really wish. I think that these updates would be much more hype if this magic attack cap was skill and magic, just like this is skill and magic attack damage. If he got an extra 6k cap, I'd be more excited about him as a unit. Getting buffs. Especially because, I don't know if you guys have looked, but like per skill stock, he's got really good hit counts. Like, I didn't realize it back in the day, because like I wasn't super deep into like making damage work and stuff, but do you guys know what his hit counts actually are?
I have no idea. I completely
We
forgot
can
all
go
about
back.
him. So
I mean, most people are gonna run dual wield on him anyways, just because.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's
but
already
single
hitting
wield,
really low.
yeah, I believe it's like
They're not bad.
dude, I believe
They're
it's
not
like
bad.
I believe it's 7, 16, 21 is his hit counts.
Yeah.
Really?
They're
For an older
long.
unit.
They are long animations though, so DPS probably isn't great still. But like per skill, it's good. So let's back it up here real quick. Okay, I'm gonna mute these. People don't need to hear that.
14.
So 16 on his S2, then 21 on his S3.
Oh yeah, and that's not with.
That's not
damn.
that's not dual wield.
That's not dual wield. So damn, that's 42 hits
Yeah,
right
it's
there.
pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not
That's
bad.
really that's
Um,
that's not
Can you
bad.
spam
man.
his skills, like, or his S3? I mean, or do you have to wait for it to finish?
It's a wait. It looks like it's a
so-
wait.
Well, yes, but his S2 and S3 are persisting. So if you sit on top of an enemy that can be hitting you and flinching you, you could potentially cast it multiple times. So
Oh.
something to consider. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing. But he has a 10k cap, so like you need enablers. You need to give him all the increases.
Everything you
Like,
got.
I'm sure you could make some meme videos of him destroying stuff. But
Oh,
this,
absolutely.
But this update didn't make that better. That's the problem. Like, it's as good as it was before, other than he can hit cap easier, which he could have hit cap anyway. With
He
the
got a
support.
Kyle update.
Yeah. So, and just as more of a gut punch, I like this update. If they would have given us more physical support, they made it so
Yeah,
that instead of
dude.
just HP and MP, he also gets 20 seconds of SET on his special. Like, that's great, except his specials aren't, his skills aren't great.
Yeah,
So.
it's not. Yeah.
So that's a little bit disappointing. And then for his actual skills that he got, let's see here. So traits. Icicle Shot, which was his unique magic. I believe it's also 21 hits. It's an ice attack. Targets a single enemy and then does a small AoE around it. Magic Sense, that's basically every 6 seconds you have a 30% chance. It was to gain 5 MP. Now it's 10. I wonder if they bumped up the percent. If they bumped it from 30% and got higher, that could actually be pretty good, potentially. But as it is, it's just a little bit extra on top of advanced magic circles. So, all attribute attack power up 40%, cool. Auto recast is really nice, and then some arcane up for stats. So, and it's a big arcane up 5, so not bad. But they clearly just leaned into what he had before. They didn't try to fully realize that physical side, which is a little annoying. But I will say, with having like the new damage multipliers he has, the extra stuff on Magic Sense, and then the like plus 100 on magic damage, and the new gear that's in the game since his initial release, I'm totally going to try making him an arena mage, and I think I can do it. So I'm just saying,
absolutely.
I think I can pull that off. So yeah, we're gonna
Zero, do you have him?
Yeah, I have Rimuru. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was looking.
I feel so left out, man. I
Yeah.
feel so left out.
But I was looking and like I made the ice staff in Godforge and I have it at plus 40 with nothing to do with it.
Oh, there you go.
I have nothing to do with it. Now I do.
Well, now you do. Maybe that's why they gave it, because we were all kind of confused on why we got that. Maybe that's why.
Well, I mean,
This is
we
kinda all
get
on.
ice magic eventually, but yeah. So he's
Yeah.
fine. I'm a little disappointed. I think it would have been really, really great buffs if he got 6K cap on his physical as well. Other than that, I'm pretty okay with it.
Yeah.
So, pretty good. So switching over to Milim. Ja, I'll let you talk through this. Let me know if you want me to click around to some other stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause you
I
have
can see just fine. Yeah, I have Milim. I actually, when she came out, like the collab came out, I actually had to pity her. So
Oh.
feels bad.
no.
Like I pitied her and then used her for, I don't know, maybe about a week, and then she's just been
Yeah.
sitting there.
You pity her, then
was that your
realize
first pity?
mistakes were made.
Yeah, and then I realized, I was like, oh man, what did I pity?
Was
and
it
then,
your first?
Yeah.
Huh?
Was it your first pity ever?
No, my first pity was the Light of Science arc.
Oh.
Hey, it's still where I used it a lot more than Milim,
Oh
so
yeah.
I'm not too mad. But yeah, so Milim, like I said, I pitied her, didn't use her for a while until like that boss fight came out with the first stage. Then I used her. But anyways, so her first trait, Dragonoid, dark attack damage plus 30%, and then damage cap plus 6,000. I think the only damage cap she had at the time, or has now, is the pesky Demon Lord, which is a 5k cap. So now she has 11k cap, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's not going to save her, but I mean, it's nice to have.
Yeah.
And then when the HP is 80% or more, gradually boost SDR, max 60%. I believe this was 50%, so 10% more. Her second trait, already saw that trick. When using a skill, can't be interrupted by most attacks. So they gave her super armor.
Dope.
That's actually pretty cool. I
Yeah.
like that a lot. I'm honestly not sure why they gave her that. I don't know how that would fit like with the anime wise, but I'm not complaining. It's pretty cool having super armor. And then when taking a combo attack, cut damage based on hit count, max 50% at 20 hits. I wanted to mess with her in arena just because that 50% reduction at 20 hits is pretty nice. It's like that what is that one skill from Nier?
Yeah, anti-chain damage.
Yeah. So that's 50 hits, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like she has a better version just because it's like 20 hits as opposed to 50 hits.
Yeah, kind of. Except that one, it doesn't trigger at 50 hits. It progressively gets higher and caps at 50. So you get some with any amount of hits.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it scales.
Okay.
Basically, you get 1% damage reduction for every one in the combo, up to 50.
Ah, okay. I
Yeah.
see. All right. But yeah, overall first trait again pretty cool. Some more damage cap and then 30% more dart attack damage. The 10% increase to SDR is cool, but I'm personally just not a huge fan of like stat boosting. I'd rather damage boosting, but it's still cool to have. Super armor, very nice. I'm definitely gonna E5 her just because of that, just to see how it plays out. So if you want to move on to the skills.
Let's go.
So her S1 actually got a 4K cap, as you know, because clearly that's all her S1 needed. It definitely wasn't the hit count that was the problem. It's because she didn't have enough cap. But her S1, it's still a joke, even with all the damage cap. The fact that, you know, it's, what is it? Is it 2 hits or 3 hits? I don't even remember. But it's a really low hit count. The 4K cap isn't really going to do anything for her. No change to her S2. Her S3 got an 8K cap. That's pretty cool because her S3 is probably, I think it's the better one. Her S2 is like, you know, Roy's and then like expats where it's a attack around her. I'm not sure if it persists when she's knocked out of it, just because I've never been in that position.
Mm-hmm.
And then her ult 5K cap, pretty nice, not too bad. So overall, just some more cap on her skills. I think she probably needed a lot more than that if, you know, you wanted to use her in current day meta or whatever.
Yeah. It feels also kind of similar to what I was saying with Rimuru. Like, if it does anything at all, like, maybe Arena. Like, maybe these buffs could make them viable in Arena, possibly. That's,
yeah,
you know, like I don't see anybody using these 2 units in PvE. Or, unless you have something like, if you don't have a mage, like, OG Rimuru is, I mean, probably better than a lot of other mages. Like, he's probably still top 10 mages, but, like, there's not that many. Even in that top 10, there's some pretty shitty mages. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, but he's up there. So if that's the only mage you got, like, and you happen to get him, not bad.
I was going to say, the reason I haven't, okay, well, going into her skills, let's go over her. She got, like, 2 additional skills.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Okay, so she got Fighting Spirit 4, more HP and SDR, and then she got Indomitable Spirit. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't think it's going to do much for her, but the fact that she gets it is nice. I was going to say that I wanted to use her in Arena because of her trait, the damage reduction, and because she has Human Shield. But the way that her stats are currently, she's like a 2-year-old unit, right? So her HP, her defense, they're just not that up there. And I'm not sure if her E5 is going to make her any better in the stat department. But I've always wanted to use her in Arena just because of the Human Shield and because of her trait. Now that she has Indomitable Spirit, another form of survivability, you know, just so that she doesn't get nuked too hard, I guess. But
she also comes with, like, almost the entire crit package, which is nice. So, for free. That's helpful, at least. But, yeah. I'm sure you'll at least have fun with her, which is cool.
Yeah, I think she'll be fun to use again. So, I'm excited for the buffs, not because it's anything game-breaking, but just because it's fun to always use old units, like how Randy, Prim, and Popoy, well, not Popoy, but Randy and Prim.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. And then on to the new boy, the juicy unit.
The juicy
Demon Lord Rimuru Tempest. Okay, so I'm figuring we can actually play through this. I'll play it for people.
Yeah,
if the sound is bad for anybody, feel free to let me know.
And it's good. You're good.
And then you guys just shout it out if you want me to pause, like when you want me to pause. Otherwise, I'll pause whenever I feel like. So, all right.
Okay.
Oh.
What?
You know, we get some input, but then yours is the final word, is what we're understanding.
No, I'm saying,
shut up.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, let me know if you want to pause. If you don't tell me to pause, and I feel it's a good time to pause, because I want to talk about something. Then, you know.
All right,
do it.
Go ahead, sir.
Dude, that's so good looking. Like, seriously, man.
The art is real nice.
That
so
S1
good.
looks great.
Everything looks so good on him. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You want to pause and talk about the skills real quick?
Yeah, let's talk about those skills real quick.
Let's jump back to S1 real quick. So this looks like very likely non-line of sight.
He's not moving.
This reminds me entirely of Ed's S1. Except
really, it kind of reminds me of Zekis's S3.
Where, like, basically,
even the sound effects.
I'm just saying it by function. So, like, it looks like probably targeting thing out here, shoots in a straight line, damaging everything in its way, and 8 hits. 8 hits on an S1 is pretty good.
Yeah, that's very nice.
So
And then we get gravity over here on an S2 and heals you. That's insane.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Built-in, what is that? Built-in Theo. It just pulls everybody in right there.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it's, map wide, but it seems like it's probably
No,
at
yeah,
least as big as like Golroth's S3, probably.
Right.
Okay. What I'm wondering here. Okay, so those healing numbers that popped up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if it's based off of the number of units that it hits, or if it's like the total number of hits in the skill itself.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a lot. That's more than 12 right there, right? Or is that 12?
I'm guessing it's 3% damage per enemy.
That was 12. It was 12 hits. So
No, but I'm saying like the
Multiple
recovery
hits.
that.
Oh
pops
yeah,
up.
you can easily see how many. If you look at the side there and see how much is popping up, so you see 3 right there, and what I see 3 units on. Yeah, 3 units there.
4.
Is
So
that
There's
12?
there's
each
one back
hit,
here. There's 4 there.
Oh, okay. It looks like it's each hit though. So each hit 3%, which is nice. Like,
Yeah.
I like
Either
it.
way, that's a
Either
great
way.
form of
I
sustainability.
wonder if we
Yeah.
can make that number bigger based on MND, kind of like Proud Force.
I bet there's
Or, I don't know.
something we can do for it.
There's,
I would have
like, there's got to be
yeah.
a gimmick behind it.
Yeah, it's either going to be based off max HP or off MND. I almost guarantee it. Or
Mhm.
I mean,
Oh,
maybe
dude, that is so
I
fun.
mean, maybe damage dealt could be the other option.
Right.
But
Oh,
it's one
yeah,
of
It says
you're
based
right.
off of damage.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Oh, it
yes,
says
of
based
course,
off damage.
of
Okay,
course.
great.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
And then the juicy one.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's very nice.
nasty.
Okay, so-
That's so nasty, bro.
So, am I off in saying that like this looks like Roy range?
Yes, it is
Like-
war range. It's
Like
map wide,
Yeah, like we don't really have anybody else that's that big.
and it's non-attribute.
That's
Holy crap,
huge.
dude.
So
Yeah,
much.
insane.
That's pretty nice.
And it's 16 hits, which is the same as Roy's as well.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll be running dual wield on him,
Pretty,
so
pretty good.
32, very nice.
That's pretty
Yes.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Look
definitely
at that.
not mad at that. All right.
Damn, bro, that's so sick.
And then
And there's a Beelzebub.
yeah, Beelzebub. Beelzebub.
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub.
Yeah, Beelzebub. So I will say like, okay, it's an AOE ult, okay hit count.
It's just flashy.
Art wise, it's like kind of vanilla, isn't it? It's just
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
not-
a
Yeah.
series of
just
anime
a flashy-
backgrounds, you know?
Yeah. Gradients.
Yeah, just like gradients and swoops and swirls.
Yeah. You know that background when you see like a crazy like attack on an anime, someone's like charging at you, and you that whole flashy background behind the character. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. Okay. So on to the juicy bits. DK, did you want to read through these?
Yeah. So we have Demon Lord Rimuru Tempest traits. So Rising Star, like we said earlier, he's gonna be non-attribute, which is pretty. We're getting more and more of them, which is really awesome. So non-attribute damage plus 50%, and then you get starting 8K. That's not disappearing anytime soon. So already at 18K with that. We also have an enemy has a specific attribute weakness. I think this is pretty neat. It's kind of I think it's really unique actually. Damage plus 40, and then damage cap plus 5K, depending on what skill you're using and what weakness the enemy has. So weak to fire, you're going to get an extra 5K. Same thing with dark and light. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty easy to kind of determine. I don't know how.
I think a lot of people were kind of confused by some of this though.
Yeah.
And because this is an evolution of how the multi-unit or like multi-element type
Right.
unit happens to function. The closer, like one of the closer things we've seen before is like Merity is a neutral damage dealer, but then if they're weak to
Right.
thunder, it converts to thunder. But this is, I think it's fair to say better. Like
Yes.
it's just significantly better because your damage
have control.
stays. Your damage stays as no attribute, which means you just
Right.
run no attribute weapons. Your auto attacks are
Yeah.
going to be good in general because all your multipliers go into it. And then if things happen to be weak to these particular
right.
elements, you're just doing more damage. Like just flat
Which
out.
in the case, the whole squad, let's say an arena squad, is weak to at least one thing each. You're gonna see those numbers.
Yeah.
Which it's really cool. I love it. When I first saw this, I was like, holy shit, this is how you do it. This is how you make unique characters, and I thought it was really cool. It looks like Merity was kind of the start of it. Not Merity. Is it Merity? Yeah. She was the start of it, and now we're getting like a really increased version of that, which I don't know. I absolutely love.
Yeah. Really well
So I think it's
designed.
going to work really good for PvE and PvP. I think he's going to be a great PvP player. We also have moving along. We have number 2.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Since
Yeah.
we're adding on Arena, I did want to say that I feel like his S2 is probably gonna have, well, depending on like the units, like for instance, Ruto, Theria, they're all neutral to fire, ice, earth, and thunder. But
Yeah.
for Dark, it's predominantly like the element that most units are weak or neutral to. So like if someone has Gaze and they start off with S2, I feel like just getting that skill damage bonus with the S2 is going to be more predominant than like his S1 or his S3.
Right.
Not maybe he won't need those damage boosts, but just from like Arena and like the units that we have and that we fight, I feel like his S2 is probably going to get the damage boost more often than his S1 or S3.
Right.
Yeah.
And then running like Tinky or somebody like that, lowering damage or dark resistance. So yeah, I agree with that. It's pretty cool.
Another thing to note about skill 2 is, we've talked before about how units that have skills that don't require a target and you can just cast where you're standing, usually it's on S2, are really valuable, especially because of units like Rudo. This falls into kind of a similar category where you need a target, but it does a big AoE that pulls people in. So unless Ruto's across the map, which doesn't happen a ton, you could potentially use S2 on Ruto and then pull Theria in, pull other casters in, pull Xbed in, and then just have collateral damage while Ruto is pulled aggro. So, yeah, I really like
very
this
nice.
kit. Yeah, it seems great. So, all right, keep us rolling.
All right. So number 2 for the trait, we have Demon Lord's Awakening. So whenever taking attribute damage, chance to cut damage from that attribute. I'm guessing that's what, 10%? 10% chance to cut damage from that attribute. It's usually what chance means, no?
It depends.
Yeah, it can vary a lot.
It can go from 1% to 75%.
Oh wait,
Nobody
it
knows.
actually says right here in parentheses, it says 5% per hit, max minus 25 resets on each wave.
That's how much you can get reduction. It doesn't say what the chance is.
Oh yeah,
it's saying so
What
when it
did it say?
triggers.
10%, so we can figure it out.
But either way, it's probably
Either way.
you're gonna get it.
All
It's
right.
gonna help you survive.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So this is really what caught my attention because I'm a big fan of Mindscape.
Yeah.
Especially in Arena, is when unit is alive and all allies incapacitated, revive all allies with 100% HP once per quest.
That's crazy.
It's
so
absolutely
awesome.
insane because Mindscape is just, you can, depending on how tanky you make your units in Arena, Mindscape can be really, really good. Now that it's built into a unit, I'm almost positive that this stacks with Mindscape. It's possible. I don't know. Like we'll have to test it, of course. But it's 2 different things. I guess that would be broken if it was. Honestly.
So it could happen multiple times. Yeah.
Right. Just no one just dies. It's just. I mean, that's pretty much what Arena is right now. Everybody's kind of building around defense.
Yeah,
So
I love that. That's so cool and so awesome and so powerful, and it adds like a supporty element to them too, as just a background thing. But that's a significant support thing. Sometimes we'll see extra things, and it's like, oh, when you use an ability, everybody could heal a little bit. Or like, bump everybody's attack by 5%. That's technically support. No, this is huge.
Right. That's a huge support. And that's why I was saying earlier, like, I was like, damn, that one thing just pretty much turned him into a support unit. Like, we can actually say he supports your team, and because that's dramatic. Especially, we're fighting something on, PvE, even though, I don't know. That's just crazy to me that's even on a unit.
It's very nice.
He could be multiplayer
Well, one
MVP.
thing...
You're going to carry all the casuals.
Or that,
when everybody else dies, you're like, don't worry, guys, I got it. Get back up. You can keep pretending to help.
I was gonna say, so like one thing is providing support for the team or utility or something, but this is next level. This is very great to have, even if it's just once per quest. That could make a huge difference in Arena, right? At one, reviving everyone to 100% HP.
Yeah, and
really nice.
Too.
I like it.
Like boss fights too. That's basically one extra get out of jail free card, where you don't need to stack revives. You don't need like an ultimate from Sarah or Theria to revive everybody, or Yazadrill. Like this one extra layer of insurance, which is just great.
Right.
So cool,
dude. And I'm actually terrified to see what Millie's gonna be like. Like that, after saying this, I'm like, oh my god, what? Because they always like shine the second unit as the best collab unit.
I
So
mean,
I'm
I'll
terrified.
push back on that one a little bit. I think that we can't really tell like between first or second, because I think there's been about
Yeah.
an even split on like the first unit versus the second unit being the best.
Right.
Gen versus
Roy.
Gen was better.
Oh,
Gen was better. 2B is better than A2 for sure.
yeah.
Just as a couple of examples, I think I thought of at least some other one before, but yeah. So I don't think it's guaranteed the
Ed
second one is
Roy.
always better. Well, they're both good, but Roy's clearly the winner, and he was he was the second release. So I think those are the types of things that people remember is like, oh, Roy came
Right.
second, so like
Roy
they
yeah.
obviously just bait people with the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know completely. Angela Reese was about balance. I think they were both about as good as
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah,
That's about
I'd
Magic,
agree with
so.
that.
All right, on to skills.
All right, so we have skill 1, Inferno. So everything, like we said, is going to be non-attribute. We have a frontal long range combo attack. Of course, this one will get the extra 5k if your enemies are weak to fire. Skill 2, this is what we are talking about earlier, is that it will absorb 3%. It looks like of each hit and then you will get HP return. This one, Rising Star, boosts damage based on people who are weak to dark. I do really like skill 2 because I feel like it could kind of set you up for certain things, because it does have like a kind of a gravity effect. We kind of discussed here that it might not be the full screen, but it is something, because most of the time when the battle starts, enemies are pretty generally close to you. So pulling them, especially in time trials, I'm sure like this potentially could be very useful, because there was some times that I would try to make that work. So I think that's gonna be really cool. And throw in some heals, that's sick. So skill 3, bro. Am I really gonna try to read that? Megado?
Megiddo? Yeah.
Megado?
Megiddo,
That's a
Oh
man.
man. So this was a wide area. It's an extreme wide area, long range combo attack. Yeah, we're looking at a possible Roy S3, decent, 32 hits on dual wield, looking really nice. Enemies weak to light, so ideally, running gaze, or Giga Weak, lowering resistances for somebody, and then potentially hitting, everybody with that extra 5k, along with the normal and non-attribute attack that already comes with the unit. It's just absolutely insane, and it looks really cool. That's actually one of the most things I'm actually excited for, is to actually potentially use that skill. It just looks like a lot of fun. S4 is really cool, and again, another support. I'm not blah blah blah.
You've never heard Beelzebub?
No. I've never really watched the anime, so no, I have never heard of it.
I haven't seen it either, but Beelzebub I've heard from like other things. Like that name's
been
used.
No.
That name's been used in like other sorts of
Rhapsody?
fiction.
Beelzebub? No, Beelzebub never used it or thought of it or even read it until today.
Okay.
Or until
we
the
know
other night.
DK's vocabulary is a little bit limited. It's fine.
Oh yeah! All right, so this is crazy. So we have a powerful combo attack to all enemies, and then it restores HP to all allies.
Cool.
Damn.
I like when elves do something else. That's,
yeah. No, seriously.
Cool.
Like, dude,
that's
nice. So this guy's a healer. Like, he even comes with some healing capabilities, which we'll move on.
I mean, you won't spam it that much. But
No.
the fact that he has it is cool.
Yeah, like it's like a get out of jail card, like the way Zero said. You're like, oh shit, everyone's die, and boom.
I haven't seen the anime, but just assuming off of like how this is compared to his old version, I like the feeling of like, oh, he was really survivable before, and like always came back somehow and just kept staying in the fight. But at this point in, I assume, the anime, he's gotten to the point of being a leader. So he's extended those powers to be able to reflect like the rest of the people around him, which is just really cool. So I will say something that I noticed when you were reading skill 2. I really wish that skill 2 was the same description, or I wish that was the description that was on Escoroth. He literally has like his stomach open up and eat things, and like if it's also dark attack, and like being able to absorb the damage dealt would really help to balance out like his starving mode and stuff.
Right, right.
But yeah, super cool on Rim. All right. Any other comments on skills?
I mean, I'm so excited. He's looking really good, man.
Yeah,
Looking really good.
I don't disagree.
All right, so it was weird when I first saw it. I was like, oh man, only 5. Because like when we saw Ardene's, it was just like this humongous list, right? So I was like expecting like this crazy skill set, but it's actually a nice passive set. So we have through acceleration, we have every 5 seconds use 10 MP to restore 1 second of SCT for all skills. I mean, that's
It's frankly
that's
not.
decent.
It's frankly not that good. It's just.
You
It's
can't.
not.
It's
You won't
just
see it.
Okay,
You
so
literally will not see
here's
it.
the thing. Like for anybody seeing this and is like, oh, it's just free SET. The fact that
No.
number is 1 is really trash.
Yeah.
What this okay, so what this really translates to is give yourself auto haste, except it'll stack with haste, but it's less good and it costs you MP. This is 20% increase to your natural SET, and it costs you MP.
Right. There's other ways. There's other
Like,
ways to get it, and better ways.
If that number was 5 SET or
Yeah.
more, oh, then maybe we'd be talking. Like then we're looking
Yeah.
at something a bit more significant. But as it is, yeah, that's a little bit of a miss to me,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's why I said it's okay. It's like I said, you
Yeah.
won't see it. It's there.
Yeah.
So we'll move on from that one. We have enhanced resistance. I really actually like this one. All status ailment recover speed, 100%. When basic status ailment is healed by an active skill, resistance for the healed ailment +1. I actually think that's really cool, especially and that's why I think PvP too. It's really gonna shine. It's kind of rare that I get hit with ailments and PvE, so I think that really just kind of benefits more PvP in my opinion. What do you guys think?
It just depends. I don't know what his spread's going to be. Certain fights,
Right.
it's really, really
Yeah.
important to make sure you're resisting, but usually it's a specific thing. So a fight might be
Right.
stunning you, so you just need to make sure it's accounted for. He
Right.
just might not need to account for it quite as much. So
Right. I'm actually kind of interested to see like second wise how long he will be, like, let's say stunned for.
Yeah.
If let's say he is like neutral, let's say he's neutral across the board. He doesn't have any kind of really resistances. When he does get stunned, or like how long exactly will he be stunned for? That's
yeah.
It's just so that 100% ailment recovery speed. It just means it's halved.
Yeah.
Halved?
So
Okay.
whatever the time is now, I don't know personally, but whatever it is now, it's just halved. That's
Cool.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
That's what
not
I
bad.
thought. But because it's unique, I assume it stacks with Godly Body, which I think is also
And his-
50%.
right,
Maybe it's
right.
25. I don't know. But
Oh, godly body is you get a ailment resistance when you recover from an ailment. I
okay.
think
Then it's
you're talking about rapid recovery.
rapid
Rapid
recovery. Thank you.
recovery.
Yes.
Yeah.
That other one that does the thing that I also usually don't run.
I did want to say, just real quick, touching back on the thought acceleration. Yes, it's bad, and maybe there's some people that might want to try and justify it. But I tried thinking of justifying it. Even like in PvP, it's just I don't know. It's just not going to be seen very good because we have spell render, we got skill charges, we got skill stock 1, 2, and then if you have purple orb, that thought acceleration is not going to do anything in PvP.
Yep.
PvE, maybe if you're starting new, that one SET could do something, I suppose. But even then, by the time, like, if you get access to skill charge 1, 2, or 3, then that just makes this thing, makes that skill completely useless.
Even Ale of Glory is better.
Yeah,
than that
Ale of
skill,
Glory.
Like,
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention that people might try to justify it, but there is no justification. It's a neat skill, flavor wise maybe, but practical if it's actually good or not, it's not good. It's
Honestly, if you're running the SCT recovery on kill, you're basically going to refill your stock. Just the way he's hitting, you're basically going to refill your whole stock within a wave or two. So like Jolly said, I don't know.
So
it's basic.
Interesting thing I thought about. You can give him rapid recovery. You give him mistletoe so that he gets silence on wave start, cures it really quickly, and then he has the one fiend arc It says when you recover from a status ailment, get resistance to all of it, movement speed, a bunch of physical damage, and like 10 SET back.
Nice. Big brain, buddy.
Maybe. Could be cool. Could be fun.
Yeah, no,
Maybe.
That's interesting. Yeah, see, like I said, man, they're making these new characters make us think, outside the box, which is really neat.
I don't like thinking though, but yeah.
Oh, John.
Listen, I can't be pretty and smart. All right, I gotta do one.
He doesn't like to think. If he just has to hit the retry button 10 million times, he can handle that.
Yeah, his whole life is RNG, bro. Seriously.
I know, dude. What the fuck?
Like that beer drinking, bro. It took you. It was all raffle.
Okay, let's get on to Predator, which is another skill I wish Esgoroth had.
Yeah. So when defeating an enemy with a STR, defense, INT, and MND buff, get buff for 25%. Get a buff for 25% to the same stat. All right. So I know that you really want to talk about this because this was supposed to be on your boy, and it wasn't. Zero.
It just feels like another. It just feels like another flavorful thing that's cool. Like you're literally eating people and then just like absorbing their power, and like it feels badass on Rim for sure.
Right.
Just it's neat.
Literally taking 25%.
Yeah. I mean, these are obviously just going to be regular buffs, but it means like, he doesn't maybe you don't need to run. Like, it's just a way of sustaining your buffs, really, in a long fight, if things happen to have buffs on them. I don't know how often it's going to come up. Maybe it's more of a PvP thing. Like, when you revive, you don't have buffs, but then he could snag a kill and get reinvigorated to be more powerful and keep chaining. So, like, that's kind of the main place I could see it potentially happening. So, yeah, definitely. It's cool, though. Neat.
Yeah, definitely.
I wanted to say, it says excludes some buffs, but I wonder what that applies to. Because I mean, STR, defense, int, and mind, those are basic buffs. I'm assuming maybe this is like special buffs, like for instance, Sage Zekas's thing, right? Because it has like it has its own icon, so I'm assuming that's what it means.
I think so as well. Yeah. So
maybe like a Brave and stuff like that, maybe with those specific ones.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it's when the base Braves are there. Even something like, say, the super niche case of Tink uses her skill and applies strength increase to human units. Like, maybe simply because that's not the regular Brave buff. Like, you couldn't eat that buff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's unique.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's just the standard ones we normally see, but that's usually what's going to be relevant anyway. So, like, I don't think that's a huge restriction. I think that's fine. Probably.
Yeah. So it looks really good. One thing that did not catch my attention really was this leader charisma. SCR defense, INT and MND plus 10% for units with a non-human type, plus 30% for monster units. There you go, Jaw. Only while the unit is alive, doesn't stack with other charismas. This for me, as far as charismas go, there's other things I would use depending on what units I'm using. It's okay for me.
Yeah.
I don't really
just flavor text, to be honest.
Really
flavor skill.
Mm-hmm. And again, it like I said, if it was more to maybe physical damage instead of stat buffs, I'd probably maybe a little bit happier. But I most likely will not be using it. If I'm doing like auto battle, I'll probably take it off so that it doesn't activate or override another charisma. Just something to think about. This is awesome. Of course, in yellow, everything is new. So we have non-attribute attack race 3 finally. Non-attribute attack damage plus 30% and non-attribute damage cap plus 2k. I'm loving it. I really, really hope to see this on a non-attribute UR in the future so that we can put this on our non-attribute attackers. I think it's a great skill to have, especially on Rimuru. I mean, you can't go wrong with an extra 2k and that 30%.
Yep.
I just wanted to touch back on that charisma because there's been a lot of people asking, will I get the 30% through the mimicry? No. So if you add a mimicry, like creature mimicry, then it'll only get that first part, the 10%. The 30% for monster units is exclusively to monster units. So in case anyone's listening and was wondering if you can do that, no, you cannot.
What if they do a monster mimic or something like that?
I don't think that would matter.
I don't know. That's just something to think about. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, but I guess it's pretty specific. Monsters only. So
Yeah.
Carol.
Hey, you leave Carol alone.
But yeah. So as far as free kit, we have some pretty cool stuff in here. There's something definitely I did like, some things I didn't like. Full potion, I believe that is just 35 MP heal. Yeah, I think it kind of acts like God Heal a little bit, doesn't it?
So
Yeah,
I
I don't
believe.
have Rimuru.
Okay, yeah. So full potion. It's cool because it doesn't use the normal scaling. I'm pretty positive. So there's no time stop. So it just acts like a normal, like you cast it, you wait for the duration,
Good.
and then it heals. But I'm pretty sure it's always a 9999 heal. Stats don't matter.
Yes. No, I read that on
cool.
Wix
Oh,
earlier.
really?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Which means he can be built completely for physical, and this is just again like his other two skills, free backup support that he can have for his team, which is cool.
Huh. I didn't know it was a full heal. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 30 and 35 MP cost is not bad either. It's pretty decent. Next we have MP up max, which is really nice, especially if you're running like Sharp Eyes or something like that to keep his damage cap up. And he's a non-attribute attacker, so if he does come with Goddess Kiss, so that will be easy to proc off that. We also have Fighting Spirit 4, Arcane 4, Crit up 2. I really, and I've said this before, I really wish this was 3 because 2 is actually a very, it's a save. It's only 3 SC for 5%. It should have had another little number there because, no one really likes it. I don't like to spend the SC for Crit 3.
Yeah, Crit 3 is a tough sell. I'll do it sometimes.
Yeah, it really is.
Like if I need to max out Crit, I'll pay for it, but I feel bad doing it.
Right. We also got aim vitals again. I wish we could have got advanced aim vitals. Like these are newer characters, so I want them to be scaled to the new meta and stuff. Double impact again, miss for me. I really don't care for double impact. Gale Force, very nice. Only on a couple of units. There's a 10% damage received from non-boss enemies. We also have where is it? Split speed, wisdom protection. Quick trigger, which is nice. You'll get an active. You'll get a stock, at battle start. Auto aura, creature mastery. This one I couldn't remember what this was, and it's probably because I just got Goroth. But if this one is a unit is a creature type, activate the following effects. Physical attacks will deal effective damage to spirit type enemies. Minus 10% damage received from spirit type enemies, and then when receiving magic damage, 10% chance to absorb 50% of damage as HP. God, that's a mouthful. There's a lot going on with that one. So I really, I haven't really messed with Goroth too much, so I don't know, how well this works. I know Zero, you've been messing with them a little bit more.
Yeah, only a little bit though. I haven't.
Only a little bit.
Yeah, not a ton.
Creature Mastery is nothing to write home about. It's
right.
just there.
Yep.
It's just there.
And that's another thing I was talking. This kit's kind of like, man, there's a lot of things that I wish that was changed in this. But overall, it's still really good. There's still a lot of saves coming up. We have Decoy, which it's a small little revive upon death, very small. So make sure you guys are running some kind of healing. Goddess Kiss, huge save. Cloak of Majesty, auto haste, sword boost. I'm loving the sword mega boost. You get an extra 2k cap there. Non-attribute attack raise 2, I believe, which is 30%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 30%.
Yeah, non-attribute attack, critical raise, and then Thaumaturgy Ring. I like this because it's only available on the UR arc, so the fact that he gets it for free is really nice. Evil Absorption, and again, another huge save with that auto heal. That is awesome.
Yeah.
This guy is going to be hard to kill, like, straight up.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. It feels good. Like, I know that there's some things
really
that, like,
good.
technically we could, like, oh, yeah, it would be better if this was Crit 3. But, like, he's still pretty stacked. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, overall, I like it a lot. He's going to be hitting Cat pretty easy. I'm guessing his autos will be really good. I mean, just based on being neutral, and then all these bonuses he has. He's int based, so he can get phase change, which is super cool.
Right.
I believe he's only the second physical DPS that we've seen with auto heal. And like my experience with Sheeta, I can build him a complete glass cannon, and auto heal is enough to sustain him. Like I don't build any other survivability at all, other than like physical damage reduction or something. But like, yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be great.
Yeah. So honestly, what I would do if I were gonna build him, I would probably run Dusk on him. I most likely will run Dusk.
You would never run Dusk on him. Why would you run Dusk
Why?
on him? Because
not?
because every 5 seconds he loses MP anyway, and like
Turn it off.
he constantly loses MP from like all sorts of stuff, right?
Does he though? I was looking. No,
Oh,
I
maybe-
thought. I think
maybe
that's
not.
the only thing. Yeah. So you turn off
Okay,
thought
alright.
acceleration, and you can make him a tankier unit.
Okay.
With
In
auto
what,
heal.
PvE?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
PvP.
Well, not PvP,
Wait,
PvE.
why you would never get Dusk in PvP?
Oh wait. You're right. Not PvP. Sorry, because you start off with 0 MP.
Yeah, PvE. Yeah, PvE.
No, PvE.
Sure.
PvE.
Yeah.
PvE. Sorry.
Yeah.
PvE. Yeah. I mean, we're talking just survivability here. There's different
Yeah.
ways to build them. Is what I'm basically saying.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Cool. Yeah, totally could do it.
There's not one way to build a unit. That's just the way I like to think about certain things.
No, there is, and you're
Yeah,
wrong.
totally. The way to build it is whatever DK doesn't say.
Exactly. There
damn.
you go.
Oh yeah, you don't put any physical damage on him. You just put
Build him for
immunity.
magic.
Damn.
Oh man, good stuff.
I would do like 2 different types of builds on him. I wish, like I said,
Yeah.
backing up. I wish we could do like multiple sections where we could just have different types of them, so we can select one at a time, kind of thing. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Overall, though, very, very cool.
I dig it.
I like it.
I dig it.
He seems great.
I like it.
I mean,
lot.
anytime we get another neutral damage dealer in the game, like, is something to get excited about. And it's worth pointing out, like, when we talk about, like, hey, what are the weaknesses of neutral damage dealing? Well, you don't get to exploit weaknesses like elemental ones do. So, like, you can amp up your damage more. In a way, he kind of gets around it with his passive, which is cool. So he can amp his damage. It's just on individual skills when you can make it work. So, yeah, it's cool, though. And the arc. Yeah. DK.
Take it away, Zero.
All right, sure. Festival, Harvest Festival. Art looks gorgeous. They nail the art as usual. Looks excellent. Creature type only, skill damage plus 25%. You can achieve that with 2 SC. Okay. Add God type to the user. Okay. So a little bit rougher for PvP, I guess. Sure. Silence and Curse resistance plus 1. Okay, neat. For each monster type that the ally has, that an ally has, skill cap plus 200. Not stackable. Monsters are non-human types. So, what do you think that non-stackable means? Because I hope that what that means is like, okay, if I have if I have creature on one unit and creature on another, I only get that effect twice. But basically every other type that's non-human, you can get it. So for as many mimicries as you have, every 2 SC gets you an extra 200 cap. So you can put on beast and fish and creature and like literally everything that's not human, and then stack up cap at the cost of SC, and it's on allies, right? So you can put that on your support unit, and you're not even hurting him. So like, I wonder what the math is on like how much cap you could actually get on that.
So one of the guys in one of my comments, I did the video last night, actually asked the exact same question. If you could stack, mimics on there to increase that cap.
If not, the numbers on this don't make sense. Like it's the fact that it's 200 tells me you should absolutely be able to. You just can't stack the same one. So it means you can't put creature and fish and whatever on like 3 allies and get that effect tripled up. That's the non-stacking part. But amongst them, you can have every non-human type potentially. So like, I don't know how many we have, but I mean, that's probably what, at least
we have everything
at least
except
10?
for bird mimicry.
Is that at least 10? Like, I wonder how many mimicries that actually is that we have available to us. Is it worth looking up? Because I could pull a gold mine right now if you guys care.
You just have type of mimic and just look through the list. I